So I decided to step out. We were instructed to teach each other in groups of threes, going through the sequence, which I feel like is one of my weakest spots. And I got put in my group, and I was like, okay, like I haven't worked with uh, those particular that group. I feel like it was my first time in that group of people. So I was like, oh, okay, I get to work with a new group. Like, cool. And so the instructions were, three of us were gonna teach a 30-minute sequence, and I was like, okay, like this is what I need to work on. Like I need to practice talking. Like this is what I need to do. And then my group members, one was gone for a little while, and the other one was like writing some stuff. And the other one came back, and then she started writing, and I was like, so what y'all doing? Like, are we gonna do it? And I guess they were writing their sequencing out, like in the ways that they needed to say it, but that shit took 30-ish minutes. And I was like, okay, well, let me start trying to do that as well, since that's what we're doing. Like, I tried to get them to start because that was the assignment. And that didn't happen. And so I'm starting to feel like this is not the first time I had this feeling, but the group shit doesn't always help me because we all work differently. And that way of working did not work for me today. So it's this great mix of shutting down, like my body just rejecting the shit, me rejecting it, because I'm like, this is not, there's a lot riding on this. There's a lot circling it. And I'm just like, I don't feel like the group shit is helping me. I feel like it's more pulling. So that's super frustrating. So whereas I started it really wanting to like, let's try it out, let's get it on its feet, because of the stagnation for 30-ish minutes. And I wasn't well, we just weren't doing what was asked of us, but I was like trying to work on that. And I went to the bathroom. I was just doing stuff. I was looking at, okay, well, what's the other group doing? Just checking in, making sure everything was going down. So I wasn't just sitting staring at the walls, but I needed to activate. I need to get out of my head and put it in motion. And so they sat for 30-ish minutes, putting it in their head. And now I feel shut down. And I'm like, I need to try this, but I don't know if I need to try it with these people. And now I'm like, well, maybe I need to talk it out more. Now it's becoming more heady. So I was just like, I'm stepping out, because like I was getting emotional while the first girl was going, because part of me felt like they didn't hold space for me in the beginning, because they were working on their own shit. And so I was like, okay, well, now I'm gonna do the flow because she's ready. And I didn't want to start anymore because I had lost my steam for real. And I guess maybe like second guessing myself in all of that waiting time. And so I was going through it for a little, then I stepped out because I was like, nose getting clogged and shit from crying and whatnot. And I was like, okay, space wasn't really held for me to begin and get it started. So I felt forced to then hold space for them and do the assignment. So I started off doing what I could, but emotions were in the way. So then, I stepped out to like gather myself and came back and then was able to finish. And then I was like, well, who wants to go? And I was like, well, I'm really not in the mood. It was just back and forth. Should I, shouldn't I? Like, are you going to stay stuck or are you gonna? And then just stuff. I don't know. Just the waiting game just had me fucked up. And then the last girl was getting ready to go, and I was like, I'm gonna step out because I don't feel like I don't want to hold space for this because this got me off on the wrong foot. So like, y'all figure it out type shit, which feels selfish, but I'm like, I gotta do what I gotta do for me because that's what everybody's doing. So not that I haven't been doing that, but I can be very community focused sometimes, like worrying about the group. Like if there is food, I'm not going to pack up a plate of food until I know everybody's eaten. But I've noticed many of people won't give a fuck about the next person after them and will savage the whole plate. And I'm not saying that's what these ladies did, but remember, I work in catering. And so if there's food to be shared after, some people will mob and other people will be like, oh, did you get? You know, there's just a different consideration that I feel like I have. And at times that's annoying because I feel like I can be considerate of others and then not be extended that same grace. So, in summation, that feels like what's taking place here. And then I'm also frustrated because I didn't get what the fuck I needed. This feels like one of the weakest parts of this for me. So I'm like, and you're still not getting what you needed. So I feel like I've been done a disservice, probably by myself and by the group. So, very frustrating. Second half of the day, we went over Ayurvedic yoga. What was that? We went over something with Ayurveda. And then we did pre and postnatal yoga. As you can see, okay? It's a lot going on. I'm definitely feeling the week. I'm exhausted. And my irkiness was on another level today. And I was like, damn, last Friday I was irked. This Friday I'm irked. Like, what's good with that? And finding it harder to shift out of it and really wanting to, like, root in it. And I was like, what's up with that? And then I was like, I think my cycle's coming. Not I think, she's coming. When I realized, I was like, oh, that might be the extra sauce on it. Because even though I feel like I'm valid and whatnot, like I'm in this process to be aware of these things. So I'm aware of it and still choosing to be stuck on stupid, essentially. And that's not really what it takes. But that's where I'm at today. And you know, a few things, like we have a manual full of poses and information and koshas, things, lots of things. It's more than 80 pages long, I think. And I'm like, I'm studying this weekend. We have presentations coming up. Like, I'm not feeling sturdy at all. So, you know, I'm like, I need to study. I need to lock in. Not that I haven't been locked in, but I need to lock in more, whatever. So I'm looking for my manual. Can't find my manual. But I had my manual this morning. I was showing it to somebody who didn't have theirs. I was sharing. And we use like the really large space, and then we've been using a smaller studio in the back. So I had my manual in the smaller studio, and then we transitioned out. And so when I went back in the small studio, my manual was gone. And it wasn't in the big studio either. So I looked around multiple times. I looked in all of my bags. I didn't have it. I made an announcement and I asked the people, you know, hey, can y'all check and see if y'all have an extra manual? Mine is missing. I had it this morning. So I say that, and one of my cohorts handed me his, and he was like, huh? He didn't hear me. He just thought I needed one. And I was like, no. So then I made the announcement again. And, you know, it was like, can y'all just check? Whatever the case may be. The people said they checked. And I was like, I know somebody has it because it's only us in here. So that was doubly frustrating because I'm like, I know it's in here. And I done said it twice. I don't want to be looking like that girl. But Ja was like, you can hold mine. And I was like, thanks, but I have notes in mine. Anywho, he gave me his only to find out that somebody did pick it up. Like I fucking knew. So I'm stuck on stupid today, I guess. That's where we at with it. I'm not stuck on stupid, but I guess I gotta give myself grace, even though this feels fake. It's not giving grace. It's giving, you had a shit day, smoke some weed, order some food, be a vegetable and watch TV. That's what it's giving. So I'm fighting temptations right now. But I'm gonna do a bedtime flow though. I need that. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna do one. You know, like I'm getting in the zone, but I'm like, you know, I kind of had it up to here. That's what it's giving. It's very much had it up to here. And I just finished crying. Like, I have stuff to do, and I just feel like I don't have no time. Time was missing this week. And I don't even feel like I be feeling like that. But my hours are all accounted for, and I've been feeling like this with not a whole bunch of me time. So I don't appreciate it, and I'm feeling some type of way.